And we are live.
Hey yo, it's time to go. Yeah, you know what it is. Get into it. Don't act like you don't already know the name. Let's go. Mother and son making sense out of nonsense. Plus more. What? You heard me. Mother and son making sense out of nonsense. Plus more. What? I said you heard me. Mother and son making sense out of nonsense. Plus more. What? I said you heard me. Mother and son making sense out of nonsense. Plus more. Now it's on. Now let's listen.
Boy, am I in a bad mood. Mother and son making sense out of nonsense.
Plus more. Well, you wouldn't know it from your intro. You said you were gonna snap out of it. I know you. I know you can.
Yeah, I snapped out of it. I just want to share before we get into the show. I'm in a different location. I'm in California, of course. And you know what, Nathan? I'm going to talk about this reoccurring pattern of mine, which is running late, rushing, and I just say it's just added drama. And so, I mean, I had the whole morning. I've been up since 6:30, and then I said, "Oh, it's 8:30, 8:35," and check the link, check the where I want to do the show, all of this, and then the mouse doesn't connect, so I have to call Apple because I don't remember how to connect it remotely. And then of course the person that I called on Apple doesn't know how to do it. Anytime you call Apple customer service and they say, hold on a second, that just means I don't know how to do this. Let me look it up. And so then I just said, can you just connect me with the senior advisor? And that's what happened. And then of course, and then she says, well, just connect it into your MacBook. I said, no, this is old. This is probably 15 years old, 10 years old. This is new. The connections don't match. The port doesn't match. I only have 3 minutes. I have a show to do. And I was really conscious of this energy of impatience and got to get it done. And well, come on, hurry it up. And it's just common. I'm 68 years old and I'm still doing this. Excuse me, it's our show. Shit. And that's how I started this morning.
Woo! Wow, coming in hot. I mean, I knew it was bad when you said you talked to Apple. You had Apple on the phone. I said, oh, well, that's not going to be a. Oh, what a fun phone call. We were laughing on the phone and they were so efficient. And I so enjoyed calling Apple. I mean, we have whole segments dedicated to customer service. You and I have talked on the phone so many times about our customer service stories and what we said and what we didn't say and on the phone and all different kinds of strategies for that. That's such an uphill climb and can you help me? I don't feel like I'm being helped. I mean, the things that have been said, and so I really do get it. And the technical difficulties, I understand too. I don't remember if it was a couple weeks ago or when it was for me, but I logged on late or 9:12,
It was later
and
than that. It
thank
was
you.
30 seconds before the show started.
Well, as in pure form, you are exaggerating again. Uh, but it was late and it technical, and then I was trying to increase my mic volume right before the show. And do you think that brought me peace or resistance?
It brought you stress, it brought you resistance, and I have to, you can blame all that on me.
Well, thank you. I would love to.
Please blame it all on me. I'm a
I'll have to find room to squeeze it on the list because I've got a long laundry list, but I'm sure I'll find room somewhere.
funny,
Real funny.
really funny. I was on the phone with Apple and I looked at the clock and Nathan, it was 9:03. And then I said, I have a show to do. I have to get off the phone in 3 minutes.
Well, I know. Well, I'm hearing the rushing, and then I'm hearing your voice in my head of it being serious and something being so serious, and that's another one for me. It's such a killer when something is so serious, and for me, and it's preferences too.
It's expectations. It's a whole field. And in fact, before I go on, we'll do a little business here. Like and subscribe, like and subscribe, like and subscribe. And by the way, Program for Unhappiness is out on Amazon and Lulu and Barnes and Noble. And in fact, I list 56 program behaviors, and I broke about 10 of them this morning in about 2 minutes.
Well, no, that's good to know. So if any listeners are curious how to be unhappy, they know how to do that too. Well,
Hey,
your energy, you're a lot of fun. I think I have to give you props. I mean, this is what a great show already.
oh, really? Well, wait till you hear my word of the day.
I kind of fumbled around with my word of the day. Well, I'm going to go first because I think yours is probably a little better than mine.
Well, don't assume that. Don't assume anything, because you know what they say when you assume.
Yes,
You're
I
an
do.
ass.
Make an ash out of you and me.
You make an ass out of you and me. And when you point your finger, you got three other fingers pointing back at you.
I didn't know you knew that one.
Nathan, okay, write this down. Please just write it down and remember it. I know everything.
Oh man. What a curse. I feel like I've been pranked by the universe with you.
Not
Well,
feel like it. It's the truth.
it is the truth. I really have. And I mean, at least it's got some humor to it. I appreciate that.
Do you?
Well, it's better than the alternative. I could be pranked and it's not even funny.
Get it?
Yeah, you're a lot of fun today. I don't know. I have to step up my game. So if I'm ever
I'm waiting.
frazzled, I'm waiting too. Anyways, the word of the day is tinge, and I actually thought it meant something else, but it means color slightly, a tendency towards a trace of some color. There was a faint pink tinge to the sky. And I picked the word because I thought it meant a slight leaning towards something. I didn't know it had anything to do with color. So,
Tinge. Can you spell it, please?
oh, Tinge.
That's what I have. See, I told you, I know everything.
Actually, well, maybe it's not just color. A slight trace of a feeling or quality. In their sound, you'll find punky tinges of folky tinges. What? Anyway,
What?
you get the idea.
You're supposed to say you heard me. That's our theme. What?
You heard me. Well, yeah, that's right.
Well, I had a tinge of irritation, of anger, impatience, a tinge of out of
Well,
control.
tinge. It says slightly, so I think you had it more than slightly. Maybe you had a couple tinges.
Not maybe, I had a lot of tinges, but I have a question. Is tinge the same as tick?
It is the same as tick.
Please explain tick.
Well, tick is just a tiny little speck. It's somewhere between tiny and small. It's actually might be smaller than tiny. It's just a little tick.
But is tinge bigger or smaller than tick?
Tinge is bigger than tick for sure. Tick is the smallest, don't you think?
I agree. And this is the nonsense part of the show.
Yes.
Tinge and tick. Well, you were wrong. My word is not better than your word. My word is a simple word, 3 letters. EGO.
Oh, good one.
And in fact, I can do a sign. No, it's E. What was G? G and O.
Oh, we can't be caught doing bad sign language on here.
I can.
Whoops. I don't want to
What happened?
be. I have the mic scooted all the way on the edge of the table. I have a whole setup over here. So then I just pushed the mic towards me. It just fell off the table.
Well, fun. What a great show today. And we're only in what, 10 minutes?
This is really great. So what else? What
Ego.
about ego?
Yes, ego. And the reason why I chose that as a word, as my word of the show or my word of the day is I have been wrestling, challenged by, struggling, tug of war. It is a surprise attack. It's actually never a surprise attack anymore. I know the enemy. I'm saying enemy not literally, but I know exactly when my ego pops up because I can feel it. It is a tension, and in fact, it is a tension. It can take me over. In fact, I wrote down, let's see, it is a takeover, an instant takeover of this calm, contented entity. And it is a takeover to throw me upside down, shake me out, and act like me, identify with me. I am who you are. I am who you are. You are Rebecca Norrington. And I know Rebecca Norrington. I've got to say I have two identities. And I know this Rebecca Norrington, and I know exactly what she's bothered by. And so does the ego, or my ego. No hating on it. And if you would allow me, I did wrote some things down. I did wrote some things down. I wrote, let's see, what is this?
What did you wrote? Let's read what you wrote.
Okay, I'm trying to find it, baby. And trying to find, baby.
In the meantime, I'll get this. This has never happened before. We've done 30 shows, but this cat is jumped on my lap.
Hey, Looney. Oh, no, that's Lex.
Oh, yeah, it's Luna. You're right.
It's Looney. Okay, I saw her black back. Yeah. Hey, Looney, be part of the show. Looney, you're a good walker. We walked her yesterday. She's a good walker. She's a good walker. What a nice little girl. Granny's little girl.
Granny's little girl. Absolutely.
Granny's little girl. Oh, here we go. The truth about your ego, page 75. Let me go to that right now. Truth about your ego. And I'm just going to read. This is very short, and this isn't even me because I had a quote by Eckhart Tolle. I am not my thoughts, emotions, sense perceptions, and experiences. I am not the content of my life. I am life. I am the space in which all things happen. I am consciousness. I am the now. I am. I watched an Eckhart Tolle video and was intrigued by its discussion and analysis of the ego. But now the ego has evolved into a dysfunctional mind mechanism responding and responsible for all human unrest and suffering. Eckhart Tolle says, in the light of awareness, the ego disappears. And then I go on, how do we eliminate the ego? The truth is the ego is not your enemy. But being aware of it is really a big part for me of my practice, and knowing who am I allowing to drive? Who am I choosing to drive? And sometimes the ego just takes over, and it takes over, but I instantly know it's taking over, and then it's a readjustment. It's a refiguring. What do they a reboot? And it's constantly, I'm constantly rebooting.
I do think it's a takeover. The word I was using this week was convince. It's very convincing. You were talking about the ego. This is you, and it really identifying as you, and it feels extremely convincing, especially to me. And it sounds right. It's making sense. And yeah, this does need to be different, and I do need this to be satisfied. And they should stop doing that. And I'm gonna do something about it. And it just creates this trail of breadcrumbs that all of a sudden I'm on some quest that my ego sent me on. And what did you just say? Oh yeah, when it does take over, and noticing it. I think that sometimes instantly I take the wheel. My true self takes the wheel and we're done. And then other times I need to slowly pry the ego's hands off the wheel, and it takes a little while. Even though I know it's happening, I can still feel the grip. And yeah, I just looked up ego definition. I mean, this is just one. There's probably so many definitions, but this says a person's self-esteem or self-importance. There's another one, a part of the mind that mediates between the conscious and the unconscious and is responsible for reality testing and a sense of personal identity. There's so many different words to describe the ego, or ways. I think for me and what we're talking about, I just think of it as that animalistic human side that is just so responsive and reactive, and is just grabbing or running or yelling or just emotional, just kind of almost like a wild animal.
Like a wild, uncontrolled, yes. Can you make your volume a little bit louder, just a little bit?
Louder. I think I just have to be closer.
Yeah, closer. Okay, that's good. Perfect. That's good.
Yeah.
That's perfect. Right there.
Oh, that's good. Okay.
Yeah, that's good. And in fact, we're live on two. I just opened up. We're live on two modalities. We're live. We're live on YouTube. And we're also live on Noom Vibe, by the way. Welcome, listeners. And if you want to ask a question, just ask to come to the stage and I will, you're welcome. All are welcome. Okay, so I have a question. Do you or anyone listening believe and know without a shadow of a doubt that in any situation, during any challenge, life challenge, whatever challenge you're having, financial, health, relationships, whatever it is, whatever kind of challenge you have, do you believe there's more than one way to look at it? There's more than one perspective? Yes or no?
Black or white? Yes
Black or white?
No?
Yes or no, black or white? Is there more than one perspective to look at any challenge?
Well, for me, there has to be. And part of my discomfort is when I really only see it as one perspective. And usually it's a perspective of something's out to get me. This is happening to me and it sucks. And there's no opportunity. There's no benefit. There's no lesson. And it sucks, and I probably did something to deserve this. I probably did something wrong.
Well, those are a lot of stories.
Yeah, tell me about it.
And so I'm gonna offer a solution to all two people listening. There's actually a lot of people. Well, there's 4 people listening.
That is one a lot for us.
Yes. Yeah. But they may not be listening in another 2 minutes.
Well, they're not listening to you.
Get it?
Nice.
So I'm going to offer a solution that is going to quiet and silence that ego, that mind that just keeps chatter, chatter, chatter. The one that you said with all those things, you're undeserving. What did I do? You know, that whole victim modality. There is one way to silence it. Now, I'm not going to guarantee how long it's going to be silent, but this definitely silences it. Is everybody ready?
We've been ready.
You mean I can't drag it out anymore?
Well, you can. I mean, I'd be very impressed. She's a good builder-upper.
And you're a good builder downer. If you listen to our theme song, the ending is a real bummer. Okay, let me get back to the answer.
You're not wrong.
Again. The answer is when you're in a challenge and there's only one perspective and the voice just won't shut the F up. Ask, can you give me another perspective? Can you offer another perspective? What's another perspective? And I promise you that voice will be silent. The voice will be silent when you ask, what's another perspective? Again, it may be silent for 10 seconds. It may be silent for a minute. So keep asking, give me another perspective. Give me another perspective. And the silence, the ego can only offer one perspective.
Does this tactic also work on silencing you?
No, it doesn't. It's impossible
Too bad.
to silence me unless I've got my mouth tape on while I'm sleeping or I'm dead.
Well, at least there's a couple options. I heard two possible solutions. Well, I love that. Is there I would say yes. Is there another perspective?
No, not is there. No. Give me another perspective. You can't be nice.
What do you mean you can't be nice? You could be nice.
Well, I can't be nice.
Well, I'm just hearing that it's a question. First of all, I'm hearing a question, and from what I know about questions, there's a question part and then an answer part, and they're not at the same time. So I'm hearing a question, waiting, and listening.
You are correct.
Yes.
So before we forget what the point of this whole topic is, when your ego won't shut up with all of this bad news information, all of the stories, all of the thoughts, all of the downers, all the Debbie Downers, just ask the ego, give me another perspective. Is there another perspective? And watch the mind or listen to the mind go silent.
All right. Well, I'll have to try that next time.
Okay. And again, if you're listening on Noom Vibe, if you want to join the show, just request to join the show. You know how to do that. And we have
hop on in because we're dying over here.
No, you're dying. I'm alive. Okay. Next topic. Your turn.
Next topic. Well, how about?
By the way, before I want to say, if you are listening, we're also live on YouTube, on my YouTube channel, which is Rebecca Norrington. So if you want to see what I look like and what he looked like in action, YouTube.
Oh, that's a video. Oh, the other one is audio.
Yes, just audio.
Got it. Well, let's have you pick. One of them is the playfulness, and I was thinking about you and me yesterday by the car, and then just all of our years of just nonsense playfulness. Or another topic is patience, and because we talked about walking the cats, and you said you're a good dad, and then you walked Lexi, and you said you just need patience. So those are my two topics.
I like the topic of patience.
All right.
And now we're coming all the way back to the ego. The ego is not patient. The ego wants action, wants results now. And that whole and impatience is a program. And all programmed behaviors, subtract from your contentment, your peace, your happiness. So being patient is another practice, and being patient is a very challenging practice because the world sells impatience.
Well, that's very true. The world sells speed and instant gratification, and the faster the better, and a quick fix, and let's fix it up, and let's not experience any discomfort for any amount of time. Let's eradicate it. So, yes, I think being patient, and for me, being patient doesn't mean I have to sit with suffering either. It's just it's just going along the time that it takes for whatever it is. If the river's flowing at a certain speed and I'm on the on a raft in the river, I can't make the river go any faster or slower, even if I paddle or I wish for it or I'm tense or whatever it is. And we were walking the cats. It was mom's first time giving the cats a walk. I walked them maybe once a week or so. I just walked them around the apartment complex, and so she wanted to give it a try. So we had a cat apiece. I have two cats, and she had one cat, I had the other, and one of the cats was had stopped walking and was being she laid down, and so
And
mom.
daddy didn't like it. Big daddy didn't like it.
No, I didn't like it. I didn't like it. Well, because I have one of my theories is it helps to keep them moving, but it all it so
I,
now so now she's the cat expert because she's not here. You remember how it was.
but one of your theories is to keep the cats moving.
Yes, because I've been doing it for months, actually over a year now. And I don't know everything, but I do have some experience and some scientific experimental data, seeing what works and what doesn't work. And one of the theories is it helps to keep them in motion. Otherwise, they can get it seems like they can get a little heady or distracted or scared. So anyway, that's one of the reasons why I didn't like that she laid down, because I felt like she was stuck. But and then you waited there. I walked the other cat, and you told me she just needs patience with this one. And your experiment was to wait until she was ready without giving her any.
Pulling on her neck or pulling her tail or kicking her out of wherever she was.
That's right. Hey.
Which you do not. However, I am going to say my generation, I'm 68, but please don't anybody tell anyone. 68 years old,
Well, you
no
look amazing.
Botox, baby, right between the eyebrows.
Botox, baby. Right between the eyebrows.
Right between your eyebrows. In fact, I have an appointment today. Thank you.
That's so funny.
In my day, 68, not only nobody walked a cat. That doesn't even make sense. It's crazy. It's impossible. You don't walk cats. In fact, that would be an interesting research. When did people start walking their cats? And don't hate me, animal lovers. Oh, hate me anyway. And bringing them into the restaurants and bringing them into the stores and bringing them into the dentist office. Oh, geez, don't get me started. But you know what? That's Rebecca Norrington. That's her limitations. She has this very closed idea of what things should be like, should look like, and that's all from the ego. And that's why I am furthering myself from that identity to be open to accepting, okay, now we walk cats, because it was quite a nice experience.
Yeah, it was. And people weren't walking cats, weren't bringing them in restaurants, and things evolve and things change. It's inevitable, and I hear a lot of resistance and frustration with things aren't the way they used to be, and look at what the kids have now, and look at the computers now, and look at the tech now. And I get like that too. I get scared of the way things are going. It's changing. It's going to be so different. And really, the truth is, it is going to be different, and it always will be different. And this need to hang on to the past and to hang on to what I know is also a program for unhappiness. I mean, that doesn't feel good. It's just not like that anymore. And I think it just the way it is anyway with the cats. So yeah, walking the cats. What?
But let me say
Well,
something. There's someone that you know. Let's see. Well, how do I
I already
describe?
know who it is.
You do?
Yes, next.
How do you know? You don't know this one.
Oh, maybe I don't.
No, you don't know this one.
Oh, okay.
But good job, know it all.
Well,
You're
I'm
my
trying to
friend.
protect their anonymity because you always go a little too far.
I do.
Not always, but sometimes.
Okay, well, arrest me. Someone that you do know, actually, someone that was responsible for you, your dad. And hold on, this was
I
before
did
you.
know it was him.
Did you really?
Yes.
Well, we took a vacation before you were even born. I'll never forget. We were skiing in, not to sound whatever, but we were skiing in France, darling, in Val d'Isere. I'll never forget. And an animal and a dog. This was in the early '80s, and a dog came into the restaurant, and we both were just, oh God! And now it's over here.
I'm surprised that was such a big deal. I mean, you know how animals and pets are now. I mean, they're people's babies. There's people's children. They're a part of the family. I'm fine with it.
Yeah, well, I'm still the old school and just and I'm practicing acceptance of it. I'm just
And
being honest.
and listen, I'm not over here. I don't want to run a safari in my home and we have boundaries and we don't sleep in the same bed and cuddle together. Not that I wouldn't. I
We,
actually,
we are the cats.
well, with both of you, I've cut you off from cuddling years ago, and then the cats. I actually would like to cuddle with the cats. It's just logistically, if I get up to go to the bathroom and then they wake up and then they get up to go and then they're up, it's just not going to work for me.
Where did I fail as a mother? Cuddle with the cat?
I mean, I told you I have a list. Did you want me to start from the top?
No. Okay, let's hear it. Let's just end the show. Let's just end the show. This show is over. No.
This shows up. Now you sound like me. Yeah, I want to cuddle the cat. Well, I don't. Well, just laying next to the cat. It sounds nice.
It's a cat.
And what is that thing you have? You have a stuffed nothing over there that you're courting around, traveling different states. I mean, explain yourself.
It's not alive and it's clean. I
Oh,
have a
okay.
stuffed animal. I have a stuffed animal that I'm holding.
Oh,
And I don't
okay.
even have a name for her, Lion. Oh, so say hi to the show. Hi to everyone, Lion.
Hello.
Yeah, cleanliness and
Oh, cleanliness. Well, as far as cleanliness, cats are amongst the cleanest animals. I mean, I know they clean themselves. They really are fairly clean. They're cleaning
it's the
constantly.
it's the fairly that bothers me.
Well, believe me, I'm in the same boat. Talk about accepting, which was another one of my topics because we were talking on the phone. We had a whole back and forth on the phone live, and then you sent me a voice memo later, and then I sent you one back just about accepting others, accepting ourselves, and having that mirror so close by because the stories are you are doing something that needs to change for me. I mean, I'm trying to think of what even oops I'm trying to think of what even accepting means, and for me, it's something is it needs to be different.
Well, acceptance. So let me just go back. If I was living really fully living in the present moment, fully living in the present moment, there wouldn't be a need to accept anything. The whole non-acceptance comes from the past and judgments and preferences and expectations and and preference. Did I say preferences? It comes from that, and just so the practice is living in the present moment, really living without any judgment. This something needs to change, something needs to be wrong, is the practice, ongoing until I breathe my last breath.
Well, that is an ongoing practice. I mean, I love what you said about being in the present moment. There's no need to practice acceptance if we're present.
That's right.
Yeah, I love that. Well, mine is so complicated. It's up here doing math. It's comparing. It's thinking about the future. It's making things a big deal. It's just doing so many things
You mean
that
your
in
ego? Your ego?
the mind.
Oh, the mind. You said mind. Okay, I didn't hear that.
Yeah,
I thought you said
and
mind.
yeah, mind is doing so many things that in the present. I think that presence is able to discern. Okay, these are just thoughts. This isn't even a real tangible thing. These are just so many thoughts, and so when you say stories, it's just the stories. What's really going on is whatever's going on in the moment.
I have a question.
Yes.
Next topic, suffering, human suffering. I was chatting with someone and I they were talking about suffering, human suffering, and I said, "Well, suffering is a program." And I got some pushback from that. You got pushback, and I just want to give an example of a death. So say my father's death. And at the time at the time hearing my father, mother, at the time of hearing about the death, there is a shock, there is a, if you want to use the word pain, emotional pain, there is trauma, there is uh, there's a big reaction emotionally. Yes, someone that I love has died. Bam, right in the moment. Now, a day later, 2 days later, and then of course you have the grieving and the mourning, the program. See the program of grieving and mourning. And I know listen, I got a lot of hate mail. I'm used to it. I'm used to people not liking and getting their buttons pushed by what I'm saying. But so now we have mourning and grieving, and okay, we have that's normal. But how long? How long do I quote unquote suffer after someone that I love dies? And of course, it's an individual thing, but I still say suffering is a program, because if I'm suffering for a long period of time, I'm not living in the present moment.
Well, I agree with that. I think I'm pulling the lens back a little bit and clumping it all together, because a grief to me, look, you said it on the shows. I don't remember what we were talking about, but that thing that you'll be practicing for your whole life. I mean, these are lifelong practices. If I could be in the moment all the time for the rest of my life, I think I would choose to do that. But even with your book and all these tools and all these conversations we've had, the ego still has a way of taking over somehow, even if it's just for a little while, or for a little, it's milder, it still does its thing. And I think grieving or not grieving is pretty good, but suffering is no different. And maybe I'm over it. I mean, I still have things with Pancake, and she died.
Hold on, where you got to say who Pancake is, because I use Pancake is my nickname. So Pancake is your first dog, and when you were 8 years old, and so keep okay. Now we know who Pancake
Yeah,
is.
first dog, 8 years old. and she died 20 years ago, and I feel, and there was it actually wasn't so much of a shock in the moment, emotionally for me. And then later, and then sometimes if I think about it, some of that sadness comes up, what I would call grief. And then I have stories that are different than the emotion, that are what I didn't do, what I could have done, what I should have done. All those stories, that feels like suffering. And I still have moments of that coming in even after talking about it, and hearing that she's okay and everything was the way it was supposed to be, and you did your best. I mean, it still has a way of convincing me or taking me back to the past
In a negative way.
in a negative way. And then I mean, in a positive way too, at times, a nostalgic way. Or I saw a drawing that I did of her when I was little. But yeah.
Well, I have just a little bit of it, not advice, but this is my perspective. You need help. Call me. I'll give you counseling.
So now, I mean, there's so many things wrong with this. So I need help, and then I need to call you even more than I'm calling you now. I mean, wow, I need help for my help.
Oh no. Okay. That's so funny. No, I was joking when I said that, but it's interesting. I didn't know that you still went back, 20 years later, and Pancake, our dear Pancake, you're thinking about feeling bad or guilty. Well, and that's all ego. The ego, this is my perspective, wants me to feel bad, discontented, annoyed, sad, grieving for as long as possible, and living in the past to find a problem, staying in the past to find a problem. Yeah. I think about Pancake. I don't even think about Pancake unless I see a picture of Pancake, once in a while, but it's never anything that is, oh, I could have done better. I mean, anyway, we're just different that way. But it's not that we're different. It's real. What I want to do is put a spotlight on this entity that is there to take the peace and the contentment away. That's its only job.
Yeah, I think, and it does it however it does it, whether it's some story about the past, some story about the future, if it's grieving, if it's anger. I think it does it however it does it. And that it's just one of my personal carrots, one of my personal ways to convince me. And that's that. And it really is a lifelong practice, and it's so specific. That's why I think some people may not have a problem with grieving and death, and other people that's their Achilles heel, and that's what they can't seem to get over. And it doesn't matter how long, and it doesn't matter any of the stories around it. It's just anything that individually, this is an individual journey. And yeah, so it's just the continuing with the practice.
Yeah, it's always a practice. And I want to say that someone that I was recently connected with again, I just, yeah, let me say this. This is for me, knowing my audience and making a choice of who I want to be in the company, in their company, has really shifted, and I'm just being more and more particular. I don't care if I've known you 5 years, 50 years, or 5 minutes. The vibration of the compatibility, and when I say compatibility, I'm talking about kindness, it's, I'm not going to say consideration, but kindness. There's a sense that I mean, it's just easy. It's easier than when I was your age, 68. It's easier. And I'm blocking people all left and right now. Block, 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 remove, remove, remove. Done, done, done. But with no emotion, with no, oh, they're this way. No, it's just time to clean out the closet. It's time to make some more space. It's time to move to a different place.
Well, I love all that. I'm doing the same thing over here, and it's time to move on from this place.
What are you saying? The show's
Well,
over.
don't take it personally, but we done.
It's over.
It's over.
It's done. Well, until next week, like and subscribe, and also Program for Unhappiness is out on YouTube, on Amazon. Thank you so much, and I'm getting rave reviews. Rave reviews.
Good.
Of course, I write my own reviews.
Well, it's still rave reviews, right?
Yes.
All right, let's go.
We out.
Hey yo, it's time to go. Yeah. You know
Oops,
what it is.
my bad.
Get into it. Don't act like you don't already know the name. Let's go. Mother and son making sense out of nonsense. Plus more. What? You heard me. Mother and son making sense out of nonsense. Plus more. What? I said you heard me. Mother and son making sense out of nonsense. Plus more. What? I said you heard me. Mother and son making sense out of nonsense. Plus more. Now it's over. Now let's listen.